Bombers, I'm Megan Kostrowski, and this is Atomic TV. Perry Tech will be hosting an informational Zoom meeting today from 11 to 11:30 a.m. Now let's head over to Emma for a day trip idea.
Hi Bombers, on this segment of Day Trips, we're going to be talking about Spokane. Spokane is a little over 2 hours away and it has lots of activities for everyone. For nature lovers, there's Manito Park, which is known for their beautiful flower beds. There's also Riverfront Park, and it has an ice skating rink in the winter, which is super fun. Right next to Spokane is Spokane Falls. It's the second largest urban waterfall in the country, and you can even take a gondola ride right over it. Spokane has great shopping. A popular mall is River Park Square. Now there's many festivals in Spokane throughout the year, and Spokane also has great history and art museums and theaters. Make sure you guys check out Spokane. Now back to the studio.
Senior pictures are due November 9th. Let's head over to Ashland for details on how to submit your picture.
Hey everyone, my name is Ashlyn and I'm this year's editor-in-chief for the yearbook. I would like to talk to you about senior photos. Your senior photo needs to be vertical, at least 6 by 4 inches, and no props. Please save your image as a JPEG or a JPG. When saving your image, please name it your senior's last name _ your senior first name. This year, you will submit it to our HJ eShare site. You can find this site on our Bomber Instagram at Richland Bomber Yearbook. You will be asked for a code when logging onto the site. The code you need to enter is 12064. You will then see a Richland High School at the top of your web browser. To upload your image, you must use the first and last name of whoever is uploading the photo. Do not use the senior's name. Please include your phone number and your email so I can contact you when I have received your photo. After you have entered that information, click the green button that says Select Image for Upload. After you have found your picture, select Choose. After you have attached the photo, please enter the senior's grade, first and last name, and a description of the photo.
The Seattle Pacific Access to College Experience, also called the SPACE event, will be held November 6th and 7th. This online event is free opportunity for high school seniors from diverse communities, students of color, and students will be the first in their family to attend college. Students will be provided with resources to succeed in college. Registration is required. The University of Washington is holding a Student Ambassador Q&A virtual visit today. Student ambassadors are student panels where you can ask current UW students about what it's like to be a Husky. Registration is required. And here's your ASB Minute.
Hey Bombers, it's Hannah and I'm back with your ASB Minute. Due to COVID, this year's yearbooks will not be sold at the school, but if you are interested in buying one, head on over to this link. This past week, we had our pumpkin carving competition, and here are your winners. Here's Amber with the spookiest pumpkin. Next, we have Hannah with the best smile. Now here's Nico with the most creative pumpkin. This week's game tournament is the snake game that can be found on Google. Once you've received a score that you're proud of, send it in via DM to their account at rhs.game.tournament to be entered into their competition. Our book club has some upcoming information for the RHS library and how to get to online free books. You can find this information at their Instagram at bomber_book club. You guys have a good one. Now back to the studio.
And here's a video biography.
Hey Bombers, this is Jordan with a Bomber Alumni Spotlight. Our first spotlight is Chelsea Mcclammer, a track and field athlete for Team USA. We're super excited to get to know her. So Chelsea, tell us about your years at RHS.
I loved my time at Richland High. It was really fun. I transferred there when I was a junior in high school, and just right away everyone was really nice and really welcoming. And I think my favorite parts about Richland High were the track team and Mr. Murphy's photography class.
That's great. So now tell us about your story and your childhood.
I grew up in Benton City, and when I was 6, I was in a car accident with my mom and my brother, and they were fine. They had minimal injuries, but I broke my back in that car accident, and now I am paralyzed from around the hips down. So that would be L1 down, and L is the lumbar spine. So it's a pretty low injury, but I am fully paralyzed. I can't walk. But right away, I just had so many opportunities. A woman in Richland, she's a tennis instructor. She offered me tennis lessons for free because she really wanted to coach wheelchair tennis, and she heard about me from the newspaper. So I started playing tennis with her, and I loved it. And so when I was 11, I decided to go to this sports jamboree in Seattle, where other people with disabilities that do sports participated in sports, and it was kind of just a fun thing to see if there's more people out there, maybe other people that I could play tennis with. And then I discovered track while I was there, and I just fell in love with wheelchair racing right away, and I just wanted to start as soon as possible. So I did, but the closest team was in Spokane, Washington. So in high school, every weekend, I would drive up to Spokane where I would do practice on Friday night. I actually also played basketball, so I'd do basketball practice Friday night, track practice Saturday morning, and then Sunday evening was swimming practice. And I did that just for cross training and to stay strong. And then I would drive back Sunday night so that I could go to school all week.
That's awesome. So now tell us how it's been adjusting to the chair.
Adjusting to having a disability and being in a wheelchair was a struggle at first because not all of my peers understood all of the struggles that I went through on a daily basis. But once I got involved in Paralympic sport, things became a lot easier because I met people from around the world and I got to travel with them and compete against them. And they all had a wide range of disabilities. And I realized that although my friends at home couldn't understand my struggles, sometimes I couldn't understand someone else's struggles with a different disability.
So now, Chelsea, tell us about making the Olympic team.
I actually made the Paralympic team when I was 14. That was my first team that I made, and we went to Beijing, China that year. And that was amazing. I really loved China. So when I went to go to trials to qualify for that, I just wanted to race and see how I would stack up against the big dogs because I was kind of new back then. And then things just kind of worked out and I got a really good time in the 800, and that's the event that I qualified in. When I was in China, I made it through the prelim and I went to the final. I did get last in the final, but I think I got a personal best by 11 seconds. So that was really cool. After that, I went to a couple world championship events, and I went to Lyon, France. I can't remember what year. I think 2010. And that was the first time I got a medal. And that was a silver in the 200 meter. And I don't do that race anymore. I do like the distance events more now. But that was pretty exciting. And then 2012, I did not make that team. That was the team that went to London. So I was pretty disappointed, but it was very motivating for me to get back into training. And that's the year that I also graduated from Richland High and moved to Illinois, where I started college. I went to another world championship event after that, and I medaled there. I got bronze in the 5,000. And that was a struggle because the entire competition, there were Chinese athletes there, and they're very fast. And so the whole time, I was just trying to get one medal. That's all I wanted. And then my very last event, the final for the 5,000, I finally got in the middle of the Chinese athletes and kind of broke them apart, and then got a medal in that event. And then I qualified for Rio. I actually qualified in the marathon. I qualified in the Chicago Marathon. I got third place in 2015. So that was a trials event, and that put me on the team. And then I qualified for more track events on the summer of 2016 after that. But I was already going, so I knew the whole year that I was going to go. And then Rio went really well. I got 2 silvers and a bronze. My first silver was in the 400 meter, and that was my first Paralympic medal. So that was really exciting. And then my next medal was the bronze, and that was in the 1500. And that was a fun race because me and two other American athletes who also go here at Illinois, I train with them every day. We actually swept that race, so we swept the podium. We got first, second, and third. And then I think 3 nights later, we did it again in the 5,000, and I got a silver in that event. So Rio was really awesome. The year after that, I was at a track meet in Switzerland, and I set 3 world records. And since then, 2 of them have been broken, so I still hold 1 world record in the 400 meter.
Cool. So now tell us about college and your plans for the future.
I graduated from University of Illinois with a Bachelor's of Science in Human Development and Family Studies, and I focused on child and adolescent development. My plans for the future are to go to the Tokyo 2021 Paralympics now, since they delayed it. So hopefully that doesn't get canceled. And then after that, I plan on going to occupational therapy school, where I will get my doctorate in occupational therapy.
Thank you so much, Chelsea. We're so proud that you're part of the Bomber family, and we're super excited for your future with Team USA. Now back to the studio.
If you're interested in attending any of the college events I've discussed, please visit the RHS website. Scroll to the Career Center calendar on the bottom of the main page, or click on the post-secondary events to register or get more information about them. Now Annabelle is here to discuss the results of the local election.
Hi Bombers, I'm Annabelle. I'm here to update you on the local elections for Washington State. The other night, Governor Jay Inslee was elected for his 3rd term as governor. A governor for Washington State has not been elected for his 3rd term since 1972. On November 3rd, WA voters approved Referendum 90, which teaches comprehensive sex ed in schools. County Commissioner Jim Beaver, who served for 12 years representing District 3, which includes Kennewick, was beat by his opponent, Will McKay. Dan Newhouse is going to be a representative in Congress. This will be his 4th term doing so. Thank you, Bombers. Now back to the studio.
And here's a video about fantasy football.
What's up, Bombers? It's Joey, and I'm here to talk to you about fantasy football and the player I look to have a big week this week. With the Cardinals playing my Dolphins, I predict Chase Edmonds of the Cardinals to have a huge week. My Dolphins defense is not very good, and Chase Edmonds will get most of the touches for the Cardinals in the backfield. I predict Chase Edmonds to have 25-plus fantasy points. Now back to the studio.
Have a terrific Thursday, Bombers, and see you next week.